everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on, you foxes!
I'm really, really sorry. That was me just waiting for Tottenham. Still waiting for them? When are they going to get here? Tottenham Hotspur 0, Leicester City 2. Let me just let that sink in a little bit. They say a week's a long time in politics. In football, what's happening this season? But we won. We won, we've gone second, and well, I'll tell you something. I don't know whether Santa filled your stockings or not, but I tell you what, he certainly brought us 3 points. And talking to Santa, I've got a special message here, especially for Leicester Till I Die fans from Jose Mourinho.
Happy holidays, I guess.
I tell you what, there's nothing like kicking the team when they're down, and there's nothing like kicking Tottenham Hotspur when they're down. Ryan, who joined us for the away opposition view show the other night, said, "Why do Leicester hate Tottenham?" I have no idea, but it's a pleasure to beat you. Ryan may be joining us in a while, and he's very brave to come back on. And I can see he's actually changed his name to Ryan Sel Oria, ready for coming on. I think that kind of sums up. But all credit to the guy for joining us. And he's joining us, and you can join us as well. And we are absolutely everywhere for you. You can watch us on YouTube TV, which is Leicester Till I Die TV. You can watch us on Periscope, and you can watch us on Twitter, which is at Leicester TID. Facebook, obviously the Facebook group Leicester Till I Die. And if you are doing on that, please click on the StreamYard link, brings your Facebook details up. We can see who we're talking to, and it's really, really nice to be able to put a name to your comments. If you're catching up with us after the show and you want to listen to us on the podcasts, we are all over. We're on Google, we are on Apple iTunes, and we're on Spotify, and we are on Anchor as well. Well, you know, I brought this up the other day. I'm just going to leave it there for you again because, you know, waiting. We're going to be waiting. I think we're going to be waiting. Let's see if Brad's waiting. We'll bring him in. Brad, are you still waiting for Tottenham?
Yeah, it's 4 years in the making and they're still not here. When it comes to the crunch, Spurs still can't get the job done against us, can they?
Well,
And,
you know, they seem to bring up Ryan, bless his soul, the other day was bringing up these games and he was posting on my Facebook page these 5-4 wins or what have you, but they don't do it when it matters, do they? I mean, you know, let's just have a look where we sit at the moment. I mean, we are, look at that, second. I think Tottenham were there earlier, weren't they? But anyway, they are down to fourth. Ooh, and they are only a point, I think it is, above Southampton. I always said to them, are we seeing the annual Tottenham implosion come earlier? I don't know. I think it was just an absolutely brilliant performance by Leicester.
Yeah, first off, I'm not going to let any statistics take away from Leicester's performance today because, as Chris has stated there, that this channel is all over the place. It's, you know, it's like a rash. Leicester were all over Tottenham like a rash today. They were very constructive. They were,
see what you did there?
Yeah, see what I did there. And I think, you know, this was the most comfortable and comprehensive win this season. And I know we've had some great results already this season, but an opposition's always had an excuse for us. Whether we like it or not, oppositions have already had an excuse. You know, we beat Man City. Well, they didn't have a team. You know, we beat Arsenal. Oh, well, Arsenal are crap. Well, we know that's true now, but still, you know, but Tottenham didn't have an excuse today. They were just got played. They got outdone in every department. They got beat in every department today, and it was just nice to see. It was brilliant.
Maybe the excuse was that they were just rubbish. Just
Well,
bring
they've only
those
won one
comments.
in 5. They've only won one in the last 5 Premier League.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Stephen Collins on YouTube. Good evening, Colin. Stephen, sorry. I'm just excited. I've had a couple of beers. Who knows what I'm likely to say? But Stephen, welcome along. Great effort by all the lads. And yeah, Rodgers out. I mean, that's another thing as well. Rodgers is first ever win over Mourinho. So it was nice to celebrate that with him as well. Matthew Bond doing his famous Chris Rea impersonation. Hi, Chris, mate. And hi, Matthew. You're back home. He's back home for Christmas doing the old Chris Rea, who apparently is up for his annual award of Rea of the Year. Okay,
wow,
moving on.
Yeah, I don't want to know about that one. That's a dad joke there. Evening, Rob.
The Mock the Week special. And good evening, Rob. Welcome along, mate. Nice to have you along. Yeah, I mean, I know I know you don't like stats at all, Brad, but you know, I'm going to bring them up anyway because we've won and we can do it. I mean, let's forget the possession. Look at the shots. The shots, to me, I mean, the possessions there, we know it doesn't mean sod all. We won the league with the least possession of any club in history. But look at that, 17 shots to 8 from Tottenham, 4 on target, fine, but, you know, 3, that's all they had. We were even getting corners and free kicks in. I was like, I needed a bit to sort of convince myself I was watching Leicester, but 17 shots. Been a long time coming for Leicester, hasn't it?
It has. It's been a long time coming in a strange way for a change. The conversion rate wasn't brilliant. If you look at, 17 chances for only 4 on target, but they were clinical. We scored half our chances, and Spurs didn't. And you know what? I think that save off Son, I don't remember Casper having the hardest of chances. I'll be perfectly honest. Everybody was talking before the game, and I'm not implying that the likes of Sky are biased in any way. They probably had Glenn Hoddle and half the Spurs back line on their commentary today, or whoever had it on, because I watched it through my stream service.
Other methods. Yes.
And they probably were all talking about the game about Moira, Lucas Moira, Gareth Bale, Bergwijn. I know that's Ryan's best mate, like Perez is mine for them. And obviously the focus would have been around Son and Kane because they've been lethal for a while and even more so this season. And I don't remember hearing them that much. Apart from the save, I don't remember. Apart from this one shot they had each, they were outdone today. The defence is going to empty their back pocket at Christmas with extra gifts in there as Spurs players.
We've got it was Alan Smith who was the co-commentator, and somebody posted on Facebook, it wasn't a post I allowed because there was a lot coming through, all different ones, about Alan Smith hating Leicester. I mean, I think Alan Smith is, to be honest with you, one of the fairest commentators, and he did have some good things to say about Leicester as we went through. We'll go through the match sort of in detail. He made the point, and when you looked at it today, and I said this with Josh in the pre-match show, and Alan Smith said this as well, we've actually got, when everybody's fit, we've got a strong squad, and we had a good bench today. It was good to see Castagna back. Yeah. It was good to see Amati back. I like Amati. I'm an Amati fan, to be honest with you. But it's just, I just can't believe that we are where we are. I mean, I'm just going to bring this comment in here, Brad, and see if you agree with me. I mean, Manu were looking hot today against Leeds. I mean, I know they were 2-0 up, I think, after about 3 or 4 minutes. I don't know whether they've scored more than that since. But Man United are very much like Leicester. It depends which Man United turn up. I'm not particularly worried about Man United because, they're the same as us this year. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one.
Yeah, to a degree. You got to remember there are 2 games in hand. I know obviously they're playing one now, which will, I think if they win both their game in hands, they'll go on to 29 points. So, let's not like rule Manchester United out of this yet. before this game, all the talk was probably more faded on Leicester, but was still probably only about Leicester, Tottenham keeping pace with Liverpool. And now you're saying Leicester have probably put themselves back in that driving seat to chase down Liverpool, who are top, and put themselves in it. But Manchester United are only, a win today, which looks likely. And, if they win their game in hand, which is a big if, but it's still capable, they're having a good season. But, if you want to be put your broad shoulders and put your chest out there and say this season, beat Man City, check. Beat Arsenal at Arsenal for the first time in God knows how many years, check. Rodgers beats Mourinho for the first time in 8 attempts, check. We haven't beat Manchester United since that 5-3 win, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to an Arsenal fan before the game, and we were saying it is a strange year, but fans this year, and I found myself falling into this as I was saying it. I'm thinking I'm describing myself here. I'm getting so annoyed that we lose one. I mean, look at that Arsenal fan that was on YouTube, and look at the Man United fans, because they're not lost, but they're not that far away. And like you say, we're all losing. None of us are putting a good run together. But just going to bring a message in from Scott. Scott does our roundup shows, and nice to have you on board, Scott. Hi, Chris. Great performance from the lads today. Great to see both Castagna and Marty playing again. But overall, great performance from the boys in blue. Come on, you foxes, let it die. Merry Christmas to you all from Scott. Merry Christmas to you as well, Scott. It's nice to go. In fact, that was the last game before Christmas. I can't believe I'm saying that. But I thought Rodgers got it right today and we'll bring Ryan in a second. But I thought Rodgers got it all right today. He didn't do anything wrong. The squad, the formation and everything at the start. And it's easy to say when you've won, but he got it spot on.
Yeah, he did. And in a way, a lot of Leicester fans, and we discussed it as well, probably bemoaned that against Everton, Ancelotti got the upper hand in the managerial masterclass. And there was a fear, if Leicester were going to have their dodgy patch, come up, when you just lose to Everton and you've got Spurs and you've got Manchester United up in succession, maybe a Leicester of old with a less experienced manager at the helm would maybe have gone on to loss today and will go on to lose next week. But whereas this time, Rodgers got against the likes of Mourinho, a personal thing for him. Obviously, he came out on top, but today we responded. And I've said all season, and I know you've agreed with me on it, it's not about how you lose, it's about how you respond. And we've done it again. Yeah, we got it. We didn't get the result we wanted or the performance we wanted against Everton, but we completely erased that today.
Yeah, well, I agree with you totally again on that point. But the first half, I mean, it was a really exciting half, and I sort of was bouncing about, and I thought, I was worried that after the Everton performance, they were going to sort of walk all over us. But let's get it, because of course we went ahead in the sort of the 49th minute, thanks to a VAR decision. So let's bring, and I'm going to say this guy is very, very brave for coming in. He's a Tottenham fan, and I tell you what, all respect to you, mate. All respect for you for coming in and talking to us when you just lost. Oh, I'm sorry, my finger slipped again there. It keeps happening that when you're in it, right? I don't know, but go on. You're not a happy man, obviously, but what did you think of the penalty?
Stonewall.
Fair play.
I'm not going to complain about someone being an absolute donkey again.
Not your favourite player.
Oh, he's joined. There's plenty of players that I don't fancy, and he's at the top of the list. He should have been sold in the summer. There's a reason behind that. Nobody wanted him.
We've got a couple like that, haven't we, Brad? We've got a couple like that. But I mean, I spoke to you on Friday, and I mentioned, are we seeing the famous yearly seasonal Tottenham implosion? Is it happening now? I mean, you know, you've struggled for the last few games, like Brad mentioned earlier.
Can't really say it's an implosion, really, can you? We've
Yeah, but knowing you of old,
of old, no, you can't even say today we were outfought. Wouldn't even say, I wouldn't say Mourinho was even out tacticked. I mean, you just had to turn up today. It was 3 points. I was literally going to come on and I thought this was a rerun, like the game's tomorrow, because the players didn't turn up. So
well, Andy there said, "Do you think Spurs had a slightly off day?"
Slight, only slight.
I take that you agree with him then, and a bit more. I'll go on. I'm going to put this question to you now because this has come in. I don't know who's posted it, but Aurea is a liability.
He's not even a right back. He's not even a footballer. Not sure if anyone noticed, but the minute he got subbed off, he went straight down the tunnel. For me,
I
that's
don't
him
like
done.
that when players do that.
That's him done. He shouldn't play. He shouldn't wear the shirt again. He shouldn't turn up for training. He should hand in his P45 and be done. I am tired. I am fed up with players that today was worse than Everton on the opening day of the season. And I said that yes, while we were having a good spell, we were winning games. The two things I was wanting to learn from this Spurs side was how we bounce back when we do lose, which was against Liverpool.
You said that, yeah.
Failed. And how we do against sides that like to play counter-attack and sit back, like Leicester. Failed.
All I can say is you're being very honest, and I do appreciate that. Another Leicester fan asking, "Are you happy with Bale?" I must admit, when he came on at half time, I thought, "Whoops!" I think the most exciting thing that Sky found that he could do was rearrange his hairnet.
Yep. Well, sorry, I'm just watching the Man United Leeds game.
I can see it flashing in the background.
It's 4-1 now.
4-1.
4-1 now. Leeds have just pulled one back before half time. But yeah, it's just a weird one with Bale at the moment. Like, I'm trying to defend him. It's like he hasn't had football for 3 years, and you've got to think, how long do you give him? When personally, I would have started him today. I think we needed that.
Again, you said that the other night, didn't you? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because there's got to be a point where he's just got to get going. You can't be everyone's friend all of the time. Yeah. He's been brought in, big name, big player, and he can't even get in the team ahead of Bergwijn and Lucas Moura. Mm-hmm. Come on now, he's been here he's been fit now for 3 months.
Yeah. Can I just say, before anybody does say, I am not actually sat on a high chair here. It does look like I'm the odd one out of the Christmas meal that's got the really high chair and is eating like that. Ryan, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for being, upfront and honest with us and having the balls to come in and totally.
What I will say is,
yeah,
when you get the fans on, other supporters to come on and you fill out, who was the player I told you about? That was the one to watch.
You're going to have to remind me because my memory at the moment. Fofana, you did indeed. Yes, you did indeed. But
faultless.
He looks to be the buy for me. The buy the transfer window, but knowing our luck, he'll get injured next week, and we'll come on to injuries later. Ryan, thank you so much, mate. You take care.
I hope you bottle it and finish 5th again this season. See you guys.
Well, I was going to say I'd wish you all the best for the rest of the season, but I really wouldn't mean it.
See you guys.
Take care, mate. Thanks very much. Oh. Brad, I lost Brad then because
people keep messaging me
as Ryan was leaving. Castagna made the difference. Could not target Fuchs. Somebody's mentioned here. Oops,
it's 4-1 Man U.
Yeah. Where's it gone? Everybody keeps. We get the Man United a winning. Let's leave Man United alone now. Castagna made the difference. Could not target Fuchs.
No, I'll give it, and we all said, what would this Leicester side do when it was back to full strength? Well, it was, it was nearly there today, wasn't it? There was still Pereira and Soyuncu, but I'd like to see Soyuncu get into that back pairing today after the way them guys have played. And I'd like to see Pereira get into it because
Yeah.
they switched Justin onto the left when they brought Amati on, and that was nice to do it. You know, it was nice to see Amati come on and get some minutes under him.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, it was just I had to sit back and just smile and listen to Ryan there because I don't think he really wanted to say too much. I think because if he got on into it, he might have just gone on a few effing and jeffing moments. You could see he looks a bit dejected, bless him.
Yeah.
And at one point I felt like, when I was in and just saying how badly of an effect does that late goal from Liverpool hit them when they haven't got too many days to turn their head around and get themselves sorted. We lost to Everton and we had a bad day at the office, but it is easier to kind of go brush that under the carpet than probably be the better side in the chances they created. I know Liverpool created a lot more chances in that game, but how much of the psychological stuffing did it take out of them? I mean, we saw it under Poch when they put all the efforts into the Champions League final that season, and then the restart cost them. It's just been one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was one of them. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the performance. It was a great first.
In fact, I know you're not one for stats, but I am going to throw this one at you before we sort of move on. Leicester City are the only team in the Premier League not to have scored a goal from a set piece this season.
Yeah, but we didn't concede from one today. That was magical. That was like a Christmas gift in its own right. I know this from corners eventually.
This was at the start, but what I was going to follow that up with is the set pieces and Maddison today, recently in the last few games, is getting them past that first man. I think there was only one corner today, and we did have one that went all the way back to Schmeichel.
Yeah, true. We still have them one corners. A quick note on someone who probably deserves a bit of an extra special mention today. All this talk about Under on the right, Perez on the right, who's going to step up and replace Mahrez. All Brighton just reminded us how good he is, isn't he? Because that ball for the second goal, what a ball that was. I also feel sorry for Justin as well.
He can still do it. He can still do it. But as that guy said earlier, Justin and all Brighton were they had good games. Indeed, he was a man mountain today. No one was getting past him. Absolutely top draw. He led the team with aggressiveness. That's what we've been missing in some games. Everyone looked like they had an extra bite too, but they all looked up for it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Talking of looking up for it, Brad, and I'm going to have to boo this, and I'm not sure which one it is, but hi, Brad. After a great win, my missus is in a very good mood and says hi. Well, I think it won't just be Vardy that's scoring today by the sound of that, will it?
Wow, I can't tell you these secrets, otherwise it'll be scandals.
But then again, we always know you are the Leicester till I die eye candy, mate.
Yeah, well, what can I say? Even today, I went for, can I get it in view? See that little, I even went for Gareth Bale to try and psych him out today with my little bobbly.
We had a 5-minute conversation on Sky about Gareth Bale doing his bloody bobble. That was sort of how much he was involved in the game.
The stream I watched, I think it might have been through Prime because it had Andy Townsend on commentary, and I think you said he was on BT last time.
Yeah, they seem to move about a lot. In fairness to them,
but he turned around and said he was relieved in a way to see Gareth Bale come on today. Or not just at half time, but he could have came on. At least he came on because they were starting to say, "Well, what's the point in this loan deal?" You know what I mean? Yeah. What's the point in it?
I mean, if he's not fit, then they're paying for somebody that isn't fit. Depends.
But you're also playing. All the politics aside in Spain, you've also brought in a guy who's now looking more like the nostalgia that's backfired because he didn't keep himself. He deliberately kept himself away from football during his last 10 years soured time at Madrid before he got the loan. You think he'd want to grab the ball by the horns, and you just didn't see that. Even when he came on, he didn't do too much.
I said to Josh in the pre-match show, it's almost like Bale was the Mourinho trying to please the crowd signing. You know,
Maybe.
yeah,
It
look at
seems
me.
that way.
I brought your hero back, etc. Nobody else could do it, and you know, it isn't
Yeah,
working
well,
at the moment, shall we say? It isn't
well,
working, but
his debut appearance was they were 3-0 up and threw away 3-0 lead. I don't know what other appearances he's made, but today he's come on and they've conceded again and lost 2-0. I mean, it's not really much of a homecoming for him, is it? It's a bit of a damp squid right now.
it was a worry for me in the first half. We kept giving away, I'm not going to say needless free kick because, you know, not all free kicks, you don't go out and give them away on purpose. But we were giving Spurs every chance to take pot shots at us.
No, we were, but at the same time, that's I've seen us do that a few times since Rodgers has come in, where we kind of sit in front of them and go, "Well, come on then," because if you're shooting from 30 yards and you're hitting the top corner, and that's fair play. I mean,
Yeah,
a few times the likes of Madison's done that for us, and they've bent it in the top corner, and teams have kind of ended up going, "Well, what could we do about it? We did everything we could. We kept him as far back as possible, and he still scored." It's one of them. And today it didn't happen for Spurs, and it never looked like it. And that was the most convincing thing about today. They never looked like scoring to me.
I think we scored it. It was a penalty. It went back to VAR. It was nice to see us get a VAR decision go our way for once. And it literally actually was the last kick of the game. That does knock the stuffing out of them because Mourinho suddenly got a whole different job on his hand with his halftime team talk. And, you know, like Ryan said, it was a stonewall penalty straight down the middle from Vardy. Lots of power behind it. 1-0 at half time. Into the second half. My God, was it James, I think, put a through ball through to Madison?
Yeah, Justin did. Yeah, that ball was pinpoint.
Yeah, James Justin, yeah. And it was close, wasn't it? But it was a great pass and a great move. That was it was just a shame that he mustn't have cut his toenails last night.
Well, according to the commentators that looked at it while I was watching, and they were saying by feet he was onside, but it's the way that he leans compared to, I think it was Aurier, ironically, and it was actually more his body that was played offside than it was anything else. Yeah, I'd like that. We didn't say that at the end of last season, Justin, did we? But now we are. Really hell.
Yeah.
But
I'll take
look, it was impressive on all parts of the field tonight. And sometimes you get a little bit of luck with the Alderweireld deflection own goal, who was probably Spurs' best player up until that point.
Yeah.
You know, and sorry, I got something stuck in my tongue then. And sometimes, your effort warrants a look and everything comes off you. And tonight, everything did come off. The balls, all Brighton, great ball. Justin, great pass. Indeedy, phenomenal. Absolutely broke everything up. If there was a riot outside White Hart Lane, he'd have broken that up with it by running at them because he was just phenomenal tonight. He was. In a way, you see there today, you've just seen the difference between him and Mendy. Mendy is no nonsense, go about with business, don't get too much mention, but do a sturdy job. Still a quality player, I'm not doubting that. Great to see him do well. But
Squad
today
player
we saw a bit of
is a great player to have there if indeed he is suspended or does get a knock again.
Yeah, and again, it shows the change and development in the squad for the last couple of times. I remember when I worked at Leicester and in the Champions League and in the league games when Ranieri threw a Marty on or he was in the starting lineup, fans were moaning and murmuring and oh God, not him, God. Today he came on, it was like brilliant. Castagna gets the rest, no issues with him. Marty there who do great, and he did. He just hoofed the ball. It doesn't always have to be pretty. It doesn't always have to be trinket passes, which sometimes we probably do too much. And Marty got the ball and went, sod off you go. We're 2-0 up. I'm booting you 40 yards up the pitch, and he did that. Yeah, but to go with Justin's point.
But then again, I always remember saying that about Wes Morgan.
Yeah, but I mean the difference is Amati doesn't turn 27 until next week, whereas Morgan
No,
turns.
I mean, sorry, I'm on about the comment there. Mendy
Oh,
passes backwards too often,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you know that was Wes Morgan's favourite trick. And like I said, with the corner going back to Schmeichel, I only noticed it the once today, but we kept possession. We didn't lose possession, and I'm sure Mendy and I'm sure Wes Morgan would say, "Well, what do I do with the ball?" Give more, and I'm going to jump on a few minutes here because right at the end, I think I've got here the 89th minute, and Marty had the ball, came out to him, and he just booted it up. When it went out, it went into sort of row whatever, but he wasn't messing about. It was the 89th minute. They were 2-0 up. We were under a bit of pressure. He whacked that ball and said, "Just get it away. Don't matter where it goes. It's getting out of our half." And he gave it one hell of a whack out.
Yeah, it's all about how you manage a game at different points. You know, when we made it 2-0 eventually after, Madison's goal was ruled out, I don't know who Mandy is either, Andy. Is that your
I'd
sister?
missed that. I'd missed that. Whoever she is, she knows Barry Manilow.
But, you see it all across the games. It's how you manage the game. And when we eventually made it 2-0, we knew we was going to have a scary 10, 15 minutes. Well, at least I thought we was going to have a scary 10, 15 minutes when Spurs will throw the kitchen sink at us. And in the end, they didn't. But that's because we did our job properly. We sat in front of them. We soaked it up. We calmed ourselves down because it's easy to get carried away when you go 2-0 up. I've always said, and it's a well-known thing in football, 2-0 is a tricky scoreline to defend because at any moment a goal comes and all of a sudden you feel, even with a couple of minutes to go, you've still got a chance of nicking an equaliser. And we just didn't give them that opening. We just did not give it in, and we managed that game well, and we did it well, and we've done it a few times this season, and that's why we won the game the way we did today.
Casper, another good save from Son. I mean, it wasn't maybe Son didn't connect with it as sweetly as you'd want to, but another good save. This time, it didn't go in afterwards like he did against Everton. But he still does that occasionally. Casper, he does keep us in these games. There was no penalty on Barnes for the pullback, which, in fairness, looking at it was a penalty. No, it wasn't. Pratt came on for Barnes. I kind of, resting players because again we know we've got a few games coming up. Touching on at the end now, Vardy's injury.
I don't think it's much. I think I did share on my Facebook if you want to go and check that out. It was like joe.co.uk or something. It was just a video. It had Kevin Phillips on it with Joe Cole and someone else, the host who does it, and they were talking about Vardy and his time. And he goes, he's so well man managed.
I'm just gonna you carry on talking. I've just got to go. Someone is at the door. You carry on talking, mate.
Typical. Yeah, that's fine, mate. Such a professional. But yeah, Vardy's very well managed, and he probably gets, for what he puts through his legs through in a game. As they were said, if anyone's checked it out, go and check it out. If you're not friends with mine on Facebook, just go and try and find it. But basically, he might get a couple. We've got to manage our players as best we can with these injuries, and I know we're all coming back, and it's nice to see. I don't think much of Vardy's injury. I think it's just a knock. He'll probably get more rest than some of them will because of what he does and the amount of running he does, and he affords that in a way. And I don't think there's too much into it. It was just nice to see two-man today. Even the subs, they were good and they were composed, and it's just the Leicester you need. And it comes to a point in time where this is the crunch time. This is Leicester are probably going to be in and around quite comfortably, you'd say, off the back of what we've seen in these first 14 games. I would say you'd be very amiss to say that Leicester aren't going to be a top 5 side this season. In the next 3 or 4 games, you might see just how close and how tight into that top 4 or 5 that Leicester are going to be with who they've got facing. We've got 2 games in 2 days, and take Everton out of our last 3. Take Everton defeat out of it. Our last 3 games, we've picked up 6 points out of 9. It's pretty good going. So
what a professional, Brad.
Oh, I like to be.
I tell you what, I said to this guy that I will be busy up until about 5:30, and he pops in at 5:29.
It's always the case, isn't it, mate?
It is. I don't know. Did you say something that was a bit harsh? It's Christmas. I don't know what you said there.
I don't know. Someone will have to
He was
remind
holding
me.
his coin after the penalty.
He played like 88 minutes. I don't really see too much of it. And like
I
I
have
said,
to tell you, don't get jealous, but it was actually Mrs. Ahern at the door.
so Mrs. Twigger's just called round here anyway, so I'll let her in
Fine, mate.
downstairs.
That's fine. We'll have a party later. Probably the bailiffs. It's actually okay coming asking for a bit of help and a bit of advice, you know. And yes, I do know. Somebody said earlier, I'm just going back. I don't care. When we win, I'm in a good mood. I'll put anything up here. Do you know any Barry Manilow you want me to now smash your teeth in? Come on, even let's go and have a celebration at the Copacabana, whatever it was. But yeah, there's a lot of discussion going on in the group chat that we presenters have over the man of the match and who and the ratings. And I don't know if you've seen that at all, Bob, but let's bring it in and let's have a look at what Alan Bennett, who does the lcfc.com, our post-match ratings, and he picks man of the match. And bless him, he doesn't have sort of half an hour, 40 minutes to think about it. He does, for me, straight away go in there, you know, within a few minutes. But I think it pretty much sums it up. Manager 9, team 9, and indeed in man of the match.
Honestly, I can't argue with it because I think everybody, if you said in the comments down below, you know, out of that starting 11, just so you know, someone doesn't pop up saying Perez. Yeah, see, Ryan's right. Fafana, you could have given man of the match to. Justin, you could have get man of the match to, or Brighton to man of the match to. I just think, you know, when it's that case where you've got 5 or 6 names, I think the one you pick out is the one that just does a little bit of flair and stood out. And today, you know, he was aggressive. He got the tackles in. He broke up attacks. He put us on the front foot. I think Alan's probably right, but you wouldn't, in picking Ndidi for man of the match, and you wouldn't have begrudged him if he'd have picked anyone else today because
no, this is
they were all brilliant.
He could, and I know we've said often it's all about opinions, and like I just said, then he does come in literally within 5 minutes of that final whistle going. I ask him to message me straight away and give me that information, and he's got to make a snap decision without something sitting down and thinking about it. Ryan, you know, who was the guy earlier, the Spurs fan, I think he's having a love affair with Fafana. I think he wants Jose to buy him, but I think there'll be a big queue for that. Let's have a look. I thought Castagna fitted in seamlessly after injury.
Yeah,
he had a steady game. Yeah, had a steady game. Can't said about that. Just going back to this one. Apparently, Vardy must have said it was a twing.
I think that's supposed to be twinge.
I think it is.
Make funny noises.
I love these. I read these as it, and I am the worst speller going. So it's always nice.
You see my messages, mate. You know my spelling's not great.
Thank God for whoever invented spell check is a god in my eyes. Now, this point I'm just going to bring up here quickly before we have to go. To me, I agree with this 150%. And don't know who said it, Facebook user. Rodgers did an amazing job tactically, but he could quite easily get it wrong in the next. It's the way he is. I've got to say, Brad, that's spot on, isn't it?
It's spot on, but right now he's doing a lot more right than he's getting wrong. I mean, we've seen, you know, I said there while you was answering your little booty call. You know, in the last 3 games, we picked up 6 points out of possible 9. Yet again, we probably dropped the points to a team we were expected to beat out of the 3 teams we played in Brighton, Everton, and Spurs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, he set us up tactically against Brighton, and when he noticed, and it was quickly noticed that they didn't get things, they weren't setting up the way they usually do. He changed it. We got it right. We did it. Everton, we just weren't at the races. We had a game like Spurs today, similarly in a way against Everton, and today we got it right. So it's one of them things. If he's going to get it right 75% of the time, you're going to have a good season. And yeah, I agree. Back 4 all day long. Yeah. Nap off this back 5.
Yeah,
when it's available to do so.
I said that on TalkSport. We play better with the back 4. He's trying it out, and like you say, you know, as long as he gets it right more than he gets it wrong. And the thing is, he's getting it right in the games that we don't, you know, we're surprised that he does get it right too. The Arsenals, the Man Cities, and now the Tottenhams. But I'm just bringing this one up. Kurt Kilby, welcome along, Kurt. A new chatter. Nice to have you along there on YouTube. I've got to put this within the top couple of defensive performances of the season for us. Like a mate of mine said earlier, once we'd got one past them, we did a Mourinho on them. Like I say, you just can't fault that at all, Kurt. Yeah, as Brad said, spot on there. And welcome along. Thanks for your comment. Always played better with a 4. Yeah, I think we were all agreed on that. Are you listening, Brendan? Play a 4.
Told you. That 200 subscriber was Brendan Rodgers.
I can't say a word. My lips are sealed. But the problem is, I mean, he's got to have played with what he's had available, I guess. Some games.
Of course he has. Of course he has. At times he's been forced into it more than anything. But still, it's nice when it's back to normal, especially when it works.
Yeah. Justin again. Hi, Justin. The defence looks more comfortable with 4, and it makes the midfield look less nervous. We're all agreed.
And do you know what was nice with that switch that happened today when he brought Amati on? We've now got 4 or 5 players that we can stick in them wing positions. We're not restricted to 2 people and putting someone who's not so comfortable on a different side out there. You know, Justin went out on the left. Onto the left when Amati came on today, and now we've got a few players there that when it's fully fit, they're going to be rotate. You know, managing players through the Christmas period, which we enter into officially now, and in the new year, you're going to need to be able to take them players off and rest them and keep them refreshed and free of injury as possible. To know now, compared to other seasons gone by, we've got a competition. We've got a competitive squad, not just in the league, but in the actual squad itself, basically. To sum it up shortly, I suppose. It's nice to see.
I mean, Dale, good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
He's done an intro of you. He's been watching back.
And good day. Good day as well. He's come on because obviously his wife's with you. So if you wonder
sorry, Dale. I'll send her back in an hour, mate.
Yeah, let's move on. I was gonna say something there. You could probably tell from the pause in my voice that I was kind of get away with this, and I'm thinking like, no, I probably can't. I'm a big Amati fan, as I said earlier. Justin, Amati looked good. Nice to see him back. He's that steady play. He can play in a couple of positions. It's great, like you say, seeing these players coming back. Andy, so I was going to come to your comment, Andy. I will do in a minute, but this again, another personal message here for Dale, from Dale to Brad.
All right, Dale. Fair enough. I'll give back.
I think you two let me know. Arrange a transfer fee. I don't know if it's a loan or a permanent move. Big question though. Quickly here, can we do the impossible again?
I don't know. Why not? I mean, today, like I said earlier in the show, you know, the focus was probably more on Spurs. We were probably a backseat driver, as we usually are on these mainstream broadcasting channels for whatever reason. And today we've kind of just shot them a little bit, and kind of, you know, as if in typical Leicester fashion, when a tennis plays first, we've kind of gone, oh yeah, we're still here. We can do it. We've done it once. Why can't we do it again? I mean, you know, but right now, if someone said to me, right now, the league's going to end with the clubs that are where they are, you know, I'd snap your hand off for second. I'd snap your hand off for that top 4. You know, I'd have snapped your hand off for even a top 5. You know,
we're 4 points behind Liverpool.
Yeah, it's been a good season, and we've bounced back when it is so far, but it's only 14 games in.
Yeah,
you know, but we got to enjoy them. I've said it before. We got to enjoy them.
Liverpool might just be hitting a good run at the moment. You know, that's not to say that you know, that it's going to continue, because it is, like I say, the weirdest, you know, season on record.
Yeah.
like I say, let's look at it. It's Christmas, and this time in the title-winning season, we were first at Christmas. We were the Christmas number one. We are the Christmas. We're having the Christmas number two here. I think that's
normally after dinner, isn't it?
Yeah, that's probably Arsenal. They're having the biggest number two in the league at the moment. Well, we've got to be happy, haven't we? I'm going to say into the next round of Europe, we're sitting second. You hope Brendan's learnt from last season and not going to let that happen again. It's looking good. Dale says there we've got to achieve top three this season.
I mean, I don't see why not. If you can only go off what you've seen, right? And in the first 14 games, what I've seen is if you take the top three as it is, and there's no disrespect to Southampton, if you're going off that Dale saying the top three there, you want to be top three this season. Leicester have beat one, drawn, and lost with the other. Liverpool have beaten both, and Spurs have lost to both. There's no reason we can't, if we continue the way we have in the first 14 games into the rest of the season, that we can't be top three this season. And if you do that, all right, it won't be as good as any team that wins the league this season if Liverpool go on and get a second title. But if you can do that, and we do have a good FA Cup run, and we go far in Europe, and who knows with Europe as well, you've got to say that's one of our most successful seasons, barring winning the title. If it continues that way, obviously.
Yeah.
It's still early.
I'm going to be. Let's be honest with you. You need for any club outside of the so-called big six, you need them to sort of implode as well as us excel, if you like. And it was like that when we won the league. I know we won the league, but a lot of the bigger clubs threw it away. But you can only play what's out there. But we're seeing Arsenal throw it away. We're seeing Man City struggling.
Yeah, we are.
I'm starting to get a little bit excited.
Yeah, and why shouldn't we? I mean, we're probably being a bit more conservative after what happened at the back end of last season with everything that went on, and that's never easy to leave your mind. Well, yeah, that is very true. And that's true. If we hit a bad form and do stuff, and then all of a sudden the talk whimpers down, and then we start maybe getting back down to the original target, which is Europe, finishing a European spot. But right now, going off the form we're in now, where we are in the league, we're still up there. This time last year we kind of entered. That was the start of it when we played Man City, Liverpool, and got hammered. I think we conceded 7 goals, scoring 1. We got beat 4-0 at home, 3-1 at Man City. This time, we've already picked up 3 points against Spurs, who are up there. We don't have Liverpool because we've already got them out of the way, at Anfield. Who knows? We could come through this one a lot better, but, maybe we need to have a check-in on that home form. If we're going to be up there, we definitely need to get that a bit more consistent. But I mean, my one thing would be maybe a cheeky little check on someone who's a bit stattery like myself, who might know this. Is this the longest period in a start of a season that a team hasn't registered a draw? Because we haven't drawn in the league this season, have we yet?
Haven't. No.
14 games and no draws. And sometimes you look back on them draws and go, there were points dropped or points gained, or we've probably been winning games, or we might have drawn them. A prime example today.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see if we've got a record there.
I haven't. Don't know if anyone's going to jump in with that. Brian Langston, who does the match reports, and that will be going up sort of in about half an hour when we come off here.
Great reports, Brian.
It is. I love Brian. He doesn't mince his words. He says it as it is. My report says Chris, absolutely brilliant today. Just got to knock the inconsistency on the head. Like I said last week, it was the hokey cokey team, Leicester. We win one, we lose one. We win one, we lose one.
Very much true, but I think any Leicester fan throughout the years will tell you we've always been. The most consistent thing about Leicester is they're inconsistent.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see.
As they say.
Yeah. So we get our heads down. The lads will enjoy the trip home. They'll enjoy the rest day, and then they'll be straight on for preparing for Manchester United, which we look forward to with a lot more optimism than we were probably before this game.
Right. Well, I am going to have to play the sour bugger again because I've got somebody else coming to my door in about 5 minutes. So that's the other woman.
Oh, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
There's a queue for me. All I'll say is I'll have no money left at the end of the night. But Brad, so thanks so much for joining us. You'll be here on Boxing Day.
Yeah, I might be slightly worse for wear, but I committed to it, so I'll be there.
Won't we all?
Hopefully, I'll be hungover with a smile on my face, though. Otherwise, I might just not bother. You might just get snoring through my end.
Depends how we do against. I mean, this is Man United, and we do seem to struggle about that. But hey, yeah. So Man United is on Boxing Day. Josh is going to be here with myself and the pre-match show, and we'll look once they've announced the lineup. That's half an hour before kickoff. Brad and myself will be here. He's going to dye his beard white for us so that he can go for the Father Christmas look. I don't do white; mine is just grey. But you go for the white look. Come as Father Christmas,
Yeah, maybe.
You can fill Mr. Hearn's stockings for her. There we go. We'll see you 40 minutes after the game on Boxing Day. Let's hope we are pissed for the right reasons. Brad, mate, thanks very much. Stay safe, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, and you. Thanks everybody for joining in today, and take care, everybody.
Yep, as Brad said there, thanks to everybody. It's been a good show, a lot of debate, a lot of newcomers in. It's always great to have you along. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, Christmas, we're at number 2, as we said earlier, like we are. Justin, night lads, night Justin, night both. Go and have a good party, go and have a drink, do whatever you can. Join us on Boxing Day, because let's face it, you can only have one day at Christmas this year anyway. So kick, the missus up to the spare room, get the football on. Join us, like I say, 30 minutes before with me and Josh, 40 minutes after with me and Brad. That said, we will be back on Tuesday, and there'll be myself and Craig, and we'll be looking forward to the Man United game. So we'll be there then. Don't know if I can get an opposition fan in on time. It's Christmas week. It's impossible. But guys, hey, thanks very, very much for joining us. Thanks for all your comments. It does make it a lot easier. Don't forget, follow us on the old YouTube, Leicester Till I Die TV. We're on Instagram. We're on everything. Just do us. And we've got the podcast, Google, iTunes, and Spotify. We are on there as well. Guys, have a very, very, very Merry Christmas. I know it's a bit different this year. I know it's all totally fucked up, but it is what it is. Make the best of it. It's what we're good at as Leicester fans. Have a great time. Hope you get what you want for Christmas. We'll see you if we don't see you on Tuesday, we'll see you on Boxing Day. All the best, guys. Take care and don't do anything I wouldn't enjoy.
Hi, this is Chris from Leicester Till I Die. Thank you for watching and listening. Have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Don't do anything I wouldn't enjoy. Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
Shut up and sit down.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.